Okay, so the first question raised is, if this is just Planned Parenthood, shouldn't their stories on birth control be the same? So, in other words, is Planned Parenthood being consistent here? The problem with this is there is exactly one Planned Parenthood in Mississippi, and that is in Hattiesburg. So with a sample size of one, what do you have to compare it to? How can it be inconsistent if there's only one to call? To me, that seems kind of crazy.
That's very lopsided. It's not. There's not a matter of consistency when you have nothing to compare it to. It's very misleading on all parts.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because they're presenting this to you as if we're going to call all these Planned Parenthood clinics in the state and show you how they're not consistent and in this message. But there's only one. And when you call these other places, like we're going to see here in a few minutes, you're comparing apples and oranges. That doesn't tell you anything about Planned Parenthood's internal consistency. And I don't know if they meant to do it this way or if it was just a mistake, or maybe I'm just interpreting it wrong. But on the face of it, just taking this at face value, it looks pretty weird to me.
Planned Parenthood, may I help you?
Oh, hi. I just had a question about the birth control pill and availability.
Okay.
I had heard from Planned Parenthood that the birth control pill wouldn't be available after, the November election. I'm just a little confused. I'm getting mixed messages.
Okay, so far as we know, birth control will still be available.
Okay, wait a minute. That's not at all what the website or radios led us to believe. Nathan, remind us, what did the website on Mississippians for Healthy Families, what did it say?
It said Initiative 26 could ban birth control. This initiative could ban access to common forms of birth control like the pill and the IUD. The Mississippi chapter of American College of OBGYNs opposes the initiative.
The initiative could ban access, not will, not must, not definitely, but can. Is that what you understood?
Yeah, it says could. Very plainly.
Okay, so how is that inconsistent with what the representative said?
It's not. It's not inconsistent at all. She said, as far as we know. That is a honest answer, as far as we know, because we do not know how this amendment will be interpreted should it become, should it pass. It could be interpreted many different ways, and that's a big wedge that we really do not want driven into our Constitution.
And it is reasonable to think that it might happen, specifically since personhood has stated some intents in that direction. Talking about the radio ad where the lady says that it will ban some forms of birth control like the pill, that is entirely possible, and this is why we say that. On YesOn26.net, they have put up probably 3 or 4, I believe, frequently asked questions pages, and they'll put one up, we'll expose something on it, and that page will magically disappear with new and contradictory information, and you can find all this at our blog. But I want to read to you from the original frequently asked questions, the one that they put up when they thought Mississippi was a red state where everybody was so dumb that they didn't know anything, before they figured out that some of us have thinking brains. This is what they said. We are opposed to those birth control methods which act as abortifacients. These could include forms of the pill, which act to prevent implantation of the newly formed human in the lining of the womb. Forms of the IUD, which can act the same, and prostaglandin suppository drugs. Now, if you were to ask any of the yesers right now, they're going to say, oh, they were talking about the morning after pill. It's an abortifacient. No, it's not. No, it's not. The morning after pill is a high dose of hormonal birth control. It works the same way. The same way as the IUD. It makes no sense that you can say one will be banned and the others won't. The fact is, right here is a smoking gun. Yes on 26 says this could include forms of the pill. And then they want to tell you that's a lie. When Planned Parenthood says that, they're lying. Are they? Really? Who's lying here? And for you folks that want independent confirmation of this, you can go to yeson26.net to their frequently asked questions. They have put this back up here. Again, I think that's probably because we exposed it. They've moved it down to the bottom. I think they just want you to probably look at the pretty little flyer that says, oh, no, I'm not going to ban any birth control pills. I'm not going to do anything like that. And then you look down at the bottom, and it's like, well, yeah, but we might.
Actually, yeah, on their new flyer it says, will personhood outlaw contraceptives? Their answer is no. The Personhood Amendment will not ban the use of hormonal contraceptives, including most forms of the pill. However, drugs such as RU-486, which allow a baby to be conceived and then expelled, will be banned. They have a note there. It says the Yes on 26 campaign does not advocate the use of contraceptives, but unequivocally states that personhood will not outlaw the pill. However, if you scroll down underneath this flyer page, you will read the original posting says, Yes on 26 takes no position on birth control methods which are contraceptive rather than abortive in their actions. The reasoning? They say exactly the same thing they did at the very beginning. We are opposed to those birth control methods which act as abortifacients. These could include forms of the pill which act to prevent implantation of a newly formed human into the lining of the womb, forms of the IUD which act the same, and prostaglandin suppository drugs. See, they didn't really change. They just shuffled it around and they're playing a little puzzle game with you, not expecting a person to scroll down and realize that it actually says two different things.
While you're on the Yes on 26.net page looking at that frequently asked questions, keep in mind that sweet little flyer you're looking at that they want you to download and distribute, that's pretty much word for word Dr. Frida Bush's talking points. When she had her little press conference with all the little staff and folks there talking about, it's just all lies. This was pretty much her whole talking point. She, as far as I could tell, pretty much read it off the sheet. The frequently asked questions below that is where you're going to get a better sense of what Yes on 26 really, truly stands for. Okay, and let me just say right here. Let me just read what the Planned Parenthood representative said one more time. Let me repeat that for clarity. Okay, so far as we know, birth control will still be available. Folks, that's about the lamest scare tactic I have ever heard. Planned Parenthood's telling you lies. As far as we know, the birth control will be available. Now, in the alternate dimension where the evil Twinkie D reigns supreme, that's not how that works. When Twinkie D uses a scare tactic, it's going to scare ya. So in my world, if I'm the head of Planned Parenthood and I'm going to send my operatives to Mississippi and I'm going to tell everybody that birth control is banned, you better be sure that when my representative at the one clinic in that state answers the phone and someone says, "Oh, hi, I just had a question about birth control. When this amendment passes, is it going to be available?" The answer will be, "No, little girl, because they're coming for your birth control. You're never going to be safe again."
Then they say, so we checked locally with some legitimate healthcare professionals to find out the truth about birth control. By using those key words, locally, legitimate, and truth, in that statement, they, nice of them to highlight them for us, because they're basically saying that Planned Parenthood is, it's not a local, it's not legitimate, and it's not truthful. those are some very hefty accusations. I'm betting there's quite a few Mississippians that can say that Planned Parenthood had, years ago when we had more than just the one, did a lot of, helpful care for, the women in the state.
Hello, is there someone I could talk to about the Amendment 26 and birth control accessibility? I keep hearing from multiple people in different groups that I will not be able to, access the birth control pill.
That's not true.
I think Planned Parenthood's saying that we won't be able to receive, the birth control pill if this passes, and, it sounds like they're just misinforming.
That's misinformation. That is misinformation.
Okay, wait a minute here. Planned Parenthood is saying we won't be able to receive the birth control pill. What is this? Is this the body of Christ here? You have to kneel at the gates of Planned Parenthood and receive it? I don't think so. That's just really weird. But where has Planned Parenthood authoritatively and unequivocally said, guess what, Mississippi, day after the election, 26 passes, no more birth control. It's banned. Could you show me where Planned Parenthood has said that? Can you show me where Mississippians for Healthy Families have said that? Yes, they have said it could be banned sometime. But they have not said it will be banned.
Hi, I've been told by multiple groups that the birth control pill is going to be banned after the November election.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. We haven't received any notification that that's the case at all.
Yep, multiple groups. That's hilarious because Yes on 26 was the first one to say it, and then we repeated what they said. So obviously you're listening to your own words that you're getting confused with. You got multiple groups telling you the same thing. Yeah, both sides are saying exactly what your sides, or what Yes on 26 started saying, what Personhood started saying.
And on top of that, we don't know who this nurse is, and normally for most people I might give some leeway here, they're acting in good faith. This is live action. Lila Rose and them have already been exposed as people who doctor videos and operate dishonestly. So I'm not giving her any good faith. I'm just not. We don't know who this nurse is. We don't know which branch of the state health department it is. We don't know if this lady is an RN or is she just an LPN? Is she just somebody who, changes dirty diapers and bed sheets? I don't know, and I don't say that to ridicule any aspect of the profession, but the point is that without knowing what kind of nurse she is, if indeed she is one, we can't know her full qualifications to answer the question. And we certainly can't expect her, regardless of her degree, we can't expect her to have received any notification because it hasn't been decided yet. So to me, this whole argument is really nonsensical.